Danny! Oh, I did slow down to the road, no way. Oh. That's alright. Fucking Jesus. Visited ya. You're gonna do sort that washing machine out, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Motive Racing channel for some more action tonight for a Friday night V6 Megane trophy. We've got some hella fast times coming in at the moment. Twanbury Hill currently sat at top of the leaderboard on a 101.9. First man into the 101s under 1 minute 2 second lap. That is absolutely fantastic there from him. We've got Sebastefano currently sat second in the standings at the moment. Our Argentinian driver, who's the reigning champion of our touring car division here at Motive Racing, driving the number 15 livery tonight. Currently just under 0.6 of a second off of the provisional pole time being set by Twanbury Hill. As you see, lighting up the rear end of the car as he comes out of Spoon Corner up towards turns 2 and 3 now, so keep an eye on him, see how he gets on. We've got also a substitute driver tonight, Ozzy Albie, coming in, so good to have him out on track. Was with us at the start when Motive Racing was still a baby, and he's making a rare reappearance tonight. Ozzy Albie looks like he's just coming in towards the final chicane now. Let's see what sort of lap time we can get, if he can get on the front row here, or possibly even topple the time of Twanbury Hill at the top of the leaderboard. Here he comes. Ozzy Albie comes up towards the line now. What is it going to be for him? Looks like he stays P3 for the time being. We've got Bullen FN2 out there at the moment, currently sat P4 in this session, just coming in towards the chicane. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead of him. He might get the benefit of some slipstream here if he gets a little bit lucky, as we can see about a 4-car train coming round the final bend here. I'm not sure who those guys are up in the foreground. We'll keep an eye on the top left hand corner where you've got all the timings. So looks like Twambury Hill has extended his margin at the top of the leaderboard. Bullen can't improve, stays P4, but Twambury Hill does a 101.7 last time around. Pretty solid there. In fact, pretty dominant pace actually, I'd say. Keegs coming up towards the line. What can he do? Currently P5 at the moment and stays P5 for the time being. Robbo Wheelie Bin's out there. He's the third car in this 3-car train that's currently heading round the first sector. I don't know if they're going to be able to help each other out maybe in the tow, or whether they're just going to be able to get in each other's way in this qualifying session. We'll have to keep an eye on this one. We're not quite sure who those guys are up ahead of him. It looks like they're actually pulling away from him a little bit. So it looks like one of them is Bullen. We see somebody getting a little bit wide there, coming through the hairpin, the last hairpin before the chicane, and Bullen backs off well out of it, so he wants to get track position here. With only a minute and 44 seconds left in this session, the track position is now going to be imperative to getting a lap in. And we see Bullen getting all sorts of sideways coming out of the last turn. Yellow flag coming through the last turn. Watch out, Bullen is well out of shape. Looks like the other guys managed to come round without getting in the firing line too much. Looks like Ozzy Albi has close to within 14 thousandths of a second of Sebastefano, so he's tantalisingly close to putting it on the front row of the grid. Can our Aussie here absolutely nail the final chicane? It looks like he doesn't. Oh, he gets a little bit loose. That may have invalidated his next lap time. It looks like it has. Aussie Albi is done for the session. It's going to be a P3 start at best for him, as we're currently watching Sebastefano now coming through the last turn. Is it the last turn? Yes, it is. Is he going to put himself on the top spot here? Can he do anything to halt Twambury Hill? He gets a little bit closer, within 0.3 of a second of our current pole man, so this could be battle on for pole position here for round 3 of the V6 Megane Trophy at Sakitto International Circuit. We've got Twambury Hill coming up on the line now. Can he try and rub salt in the wounds? No, he can't. Stays on a 101.7. It's all down to Sebastefano now. Keegs pits from 4th. We got Bullen coming around the last turn. He's got a little bit of traffic which could work out in his advantage should he get some tow. It looks like Antonio Lotza's gone 6th. Bullen coming up on the line now. Can he improve on his P5? It looks like he can't. Smoky Devil's just coming through Spoon Corner, so he's got one more lap to go. Robbo Wheelie Bin just ahead of him on the track.
How many laps?
A 20-minute race. Looks like we've got Penguin Do coming up on the line now. Goes P9. Gets within 4.2 of the pole time. DJ Phil added by rounding out the field. So it looks like Sebastefano has abandoned his attempt to pole position. Bullen is still out there. Antonio Lotza likewise. Let's see what he can do. Antonio Lotza just coming out of the final chicane now as he throws it around the final bend. Driving the number 7 livery, the black and red. What is he going to do as he comes over the line now? Antonio Lotza currently P6 in this session and he stays P6. He can't improve. Robbo Wheelie Bin and Bullen seems to be the only two out there at the moment. Looks like Bullen might get the benefit of a little bit of slipstream. Did he invalidate his lap though, going out on the grass there? Bullen P5, and it looks like that is that for the session. It is indeed. So Twambury Hill taking pole, 0.3 ahead of Sebastefano. Ozzy Albi in the end a little way shy of Sebastefano. These three guys though completely in a league of their own compared to the rest of the pack. You got a good battle developing the mid pack. Keegs, Bullen, Antonio Lotza, these guys all very close. Stay tuned for the race guys, we're back in a mo.
coming.
Here we go then, we're moments away from the start of the race, the sprint race here tonight for round 3 of Motive Racing's V6 Megane Trophy. We've got Twambury Hill lining up at the front. Stefano will be absolutely gunning to get a good start off the line and potentially lead into the first corner. It's going to be a difficult one. Spoon corner is a hairpin technically, but it's a lot quicker than what you'd imagine. You can carry a lot of speed in due to the gradient of the corner. It's going to be fascinating to see if anybody does go for a slightly aggressive start. Hopefully these guys can all keep it clean and we can have the cleanest fairest possible race here. But looks like we're 20 seconds away now. These guys making their final adjustments to their setups. Looks like everybody's readied up. That is always a good sign. Flash of the lights there from, I think, Aussie Albie on the second row. Keegs also returning that gesture. It looks like we are underway, and it's a good start there from the second row. That's Keegs on the second row there, making an absolute fly. It looks like Twambury Hill gets away from pole position, but Keegs is already up into P2 to come up towards Spoon corner. Stefano with a slightly conroy start there. It looks like Twambury Hill just about holds on to the lead coming through turn 1, but Keegs is on the attack. You could see Sebas getting a little bit wide there, and Aussie Albie having a look. Has Aussie Albie got the move? It looks like he does, and it looks like in the end Aussie Albie's domino effect into Stefano has ended up taking Keegs as well, but it looks like Sebas is round, so Sebas suffering the most there of anybody coming through Spoon corner. Twambury Hill leads the race, 1.1 seconds ahead of Aussie Albie. You've got Keegs sat P3 trying to fend off Bullen and Robbo Wheelie Bin as they come down the hill into this very tricky dip section of the track. It looks like Keegs is trying to hold off Bullen and Robbo Wheelie Bin at this point. You've got Antonio Lotzer, DJ Phil, Smoky Devil, Stefano down to 9th place on the first lap. It looks like Penguin Dude and Oakbar also ran into some problems. But in the meantime, at the front, we've got Twambury Hill leading the race, but not by very much at all. Aussie Albie absolutely hassling him coming out of the last turn as we come through 130R, going the opposite way from usual. And out onto the pit straight. Aussie Albie has got a fantastic run here down the pit straight. Is he going to try and make a move coming out towards Spoon? It looks like Twambury Hill has slightly better straight line speed, so you can tell that Twambury Hill has got his car set up for low downforce sections up this track. This is where he's in his comfort zone. Aussie Albie is surely going to have the better of him coming through corners like this. So Twambury Hill's going to have to watch out. It's going to be a tricky one. It's going to be on a knife's edge for the entirety of this race. And at the moment he's doing a good job in managing to hold off Aussie Albie. You've got Keegs sat P3, 3.5 seconds behind these guys. Bullen and Robbo Wheelie Bin separated by absolutely nothing. Half a second at the moment between 4th and 5th. Antonio Lotzer dropping off for these guys at the moment. Looks like Smoky Devil and DJ Phil having a little bit of a to-do. Stefano pulling up onto these guys now, so they have to watch out because Stefano is going to have a lot of pace compared to them. As we saw in the qualifying session, he was right up there, was 3/10 off the pole time, but he's struggled so far. Had that incident coming through turn 1. It looks like he's going to try and go around the outside here of DJ Phil. DJ Phil is not going to make it easy for him. Flash the lights from Sebas saying, what are you doing? But he's more than within his rights to defend his position, and Stefano runs into DJ Phil, punts him off the track. We've got a yellow flag situation here. That looked like a little bit of a dodgy move there from Stefano. He went extremely late on the brakes, punted DJ Phil off onto the grass, and DJ Phil in the end didn't lose as much time as Sebas did, but looked like a little bit naughty there from Stefano. In the meantime, lead at the front, 1.2 seconds. Twambury Hill has pulled out a little bit. Looks like Aussie Albie has also picked up a penalty because his last lap time was in the 108, but he's only seems to have lost about a second, so one would assume he had got a 5-second penalty on the last lap or something thereabouts. Keegs is currently running P3 at the moment. He's absolutely bumper to bumper with Bullen at this point. Bullen looking for a way through. Oh, Keegs gets a little bit loose. He's put it onto the grass. He's spun round, and that's releasing Bullen up into P3. Keegs getting all sorts of out of shape there. That's allowed Robbo Wheelie Bin and Antonio Lotzer up into 4th and 5th respectively, as we see Antonio Lotzer having a little look to the inside coming into the hairpin, but it looks like he's a little bit too far back to go for it at the moment. Oh, fantastic racing from all of these guys so far. Bit of argy-bargy going on further down the pack, as we can see there is a 3-man battle excuse me, for P8. Looks like Penguin Dude's had a moment, and CJ Phil looks like he has been passed by Stefano, but Sebas seems to be making a bit of a meal of it at the moment. Has finally got that position and is up into 8th place. So gap at the front still just under a second now, so Aussie Albie's responded on that previous lap. He took 4/10 out of Twambury Hill. It looks like he's got to slow down because he's getting well out of it there. Back to the battle for P3 and 4. Looks like Bullen has managed to shake off Robbo Wheelie Bin a little bit. Antonio Lotzer now coming under heavy pressure from Keegs as we're coming into the middle sector of the lap. Is Keegs going to go for a move coming into this downhill section? It looks like he is a little bit too far back to go for it at the moment. Sebas into some clear air. Next up for him is going to be Smoky Devil, cut about 5 seconds up the road. He's lapping 2 seconds quicker than him. Where can Sebas get up to here in this sprint race? If he can keep his nose clean and keep his head together, he might be able to pick up possibly top 5 finish here. Currently back with Keegs, chasing down Antonio Lotza at the moment. He's right on the back of him as they come down the pit straight. Might be close enough to go for a move coming into Spoon Corner. It'd be a brave move from that far back, but then again, never say never. Onto the brakes. Looks like Antonio Lotza at the moment holding on to that P5 position. Bit of a lock up there as he came into the corner, but it is as you were. Keegs though is hounding and hassling him, and I'm sure he's going to want to pick up that position as soon as he can, because he's got Robert Wheelie Bin just up the road from him, who I'm sure he'll be wanting to chase down. These guys not lapping too far off the leaders at this point. It looks like Twanbury Hill has pulled out the gap to Aussie Albie to 4.8 seconds. He's absolutely flying out the front. Aussie Albie seems to have picked up another penalty by the looks of it. But running in a P2 position, you can't discredit Aussie Albie for the performance he's putting in so far, considering he's a very late stand-in to this race. So it's never easy to step up to the plate in the Motive Racing League. He is doing so very, very admirably indeed. We've got Bullen still running in P3 at this point, pulling away from Robbo Wheelie Bin, who in turn looks like he's got Antonio Lotza and Keegs both making gains on him. This is the battle for 5th and 6th. Still Keegs unable to exploit a loopholing Antonio Lotza's driving to get himself up into that position. Sticking behind him once again, a bit of a lock up there, cut from Antonio Lotza. He got a bit wide, and Keegs is surely going to have the position up the inside onto the brakes. Keegs dabs the brakes a little bit. You could see Antonio Lotza opting to try and coast the car around the corner, and in the end Keegs was just able to have a much sharper braking point and able to get that position. Interesting style there from Antonio Lotza not to dab on the brakes coming through Spoon Corner on the exit. Ultimately it's lost him the position. Keegs up into 5th, right on the back here of Robbo Wheelie Bin now. Just goes to show the sort of pace that Keegs had. Now he's in, well, imagine what he'll be like in some clear air. He's got 4 seconds up the road from Bullen, but he's still got to get past Robbo Wheelie Bin for 4th. Gap at the front, still 5 seconds. It looks like Twanbury Hill's just coming up on some traffic already. That's Penguin Dude there, so he's just clearing Penguin Dude now. Penguin Dude said in the build up to this race that he hasn't actually raced in V6 Meganes before. This is his first time. He told us not to expect fireworks from him, but ultimately it is a learning curve jumping into any new car, and you've got to give it time and make sure that you can hone your skills first. But Penguin Dude still doing a good job, sticking with it. Good to see him out on the track. Got Twanbury leading the Aussie Albie by 4.8 seconds at this point, lapping about a second a lap faster. Twanbury all looking very, very good for this win in the sprint race. Got Bullen still sat P3 at the moment. Robbo Wheelie Bin coming round. Looks like they feel pretty strong out at this point now. Where is Sebastefano? It looks like he's still a long, long way off. He's only pulled out 3 seconds to DJ Phil in the last couple of laps. He's still got 7 seconds up the road to Smoky Devil. It's not going to be easy for our Argentinian here tonight. Sure, he'll be back in the feature, and as long as he doesn't get into the top 5, he will actually be able to qualify for the feature race, which will allow him to steal the march on his opposition. Guys such as Twanbury Hill and Aussie Albie will have their hands tied in terms of what they can do about Sebastefano, if indeed it stays as it is, that is. There is the race leader at this point, coming into the last chicane. He's totally bossed it so far. Surely nothing can stop Twanbury Hill in this. Oh, he gets a little bit loose onto the grass, almost bins it coming out of the last turn. I was just about to say, surely there's nothing that can stop this man now from taking the W in this race, but then again, you can never speak too soon in racing. 3.7 the gap at the front. Aussie Albie took 2 seconds out of him that last time around. Bullen still running in P3 at this point. Solid job from him. It looks like he's got a reasonably sizable gap to Robbo Wheelie Bin back in 4th. Antonio Lotza looks like he isn't really closing in on Robbo now. It looks like Keegs has made a mistake. What has happened to Keegs? He was up in challenging for 4th place with Robbo Wheelie Bin. He's dropped down to 6th. 7 seconds behind him. The lap before the last one was an absolute mare for Keegs, was a 1 minute 12, so he would have lost around 8 seconds to the guys that he's battling with for that 4th spot. That really has not gone to plan for him at all. Battle between Smokey and Sebas. Sebas took 3 seconds out of him last time around, so our Argentinian is on a mission here. I imagine he might not want to get up to P5 though, because it'll mean he can't qualify for the feature race. Tactics could play a part in this. 12 seconds to Antonio Lotza in that very position. He's still got to get past Smokey Keegs before we can even start thinking about that though. Looks like Keegs has got past Robbo Wheelie Bin up into 5th position. I think Robbo must have made a mistake because he's dropped way off these guys. Now 28 seconds off of the lead. We'll keep an eye, we'll see on the top left hand corner with the lap times and see. That might give us an indication of what occurred. So yeah, Robbo Wheelie Bin with a 1 minute 19 last time around. He lost 15 seconds to the guys around him. That is quite remarkable really. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe more than one mistake coming into the equation there for him, but he's got Sebastefano pretty close for company. Smokey Devil had a bit of a mare last lap, lost 6 seconds to Sebas, so Sebas made that move and is up into 7th place. He can now chase down Robbo in P6. He's only 6 seconds off of a top 5 position here, is Sebastefano. Being an incredible comeback. Could probably, I would say, set his targets on 4th, and Antonio Lotza, if he keeps his head in the game for the rest of this race. Looks like we've got a change of the lead here. Twambury Hill has made a mistake and Aussie Albie is up into the lead. We didn't see what happened on the stream, but he seems to have got way out of shape somewhere out there. So Aussie Albie now holds a slender 1 second lead at the front of the pack. We know he's got a penalty, so anything can happen from here until the end of this race. But Aussie Albie will be extra motivated knowing he needs to pull out a certain gap in order to get that position on Twambury Hill come the checkered flag. 4 seconds is the penalty for Aussie Albie, so Twambury Hill makes another mistake. Aussie Albie could be on for the victory here. These guys very close. They matched on pace as we see there. Aussie Albie pulling over and allowing Twambury Hill to take the position, so presumably a slow down penalty there for him. Bullen seems to be closing on these guys while they do what they're doing at the front. Now the gap is almost under 10 seconds back to Bullen. Keegs has managed to get himself up into P4 ahead of Antonio Lotza, and it looks like we got somebody off. It looks like Ugbar's off onto the gravel, and so is Penguin Dude. So these guys are really struggling here at this point. Obviously I will remind the viewers that Penguin Dude is not very experienced in these V6 Meganes, and nor is Ugbar. These guys took up the challenge very much last minute here, and we commend them and thank them for making that decision to do so. But unfortunately, obviously, as you'd expect, changing to or deciding to race in a car last minute, it can often have negative consequences. And these guys giving it their everything, but unfortunately, it hasn't really gone to plan so far for them. Twambury Hill's currently got a 2.3 second lead out the front. Since that slowdown that we saw a lap ago for Aussie Albie, seems to have kept that gap reasonably the same to Twambury. Twambury possibly a little bit quicker this last lap. We'll see when the time boards come up. Yeah, 4/10 quicker. So gradually pulling that gap once again. Obviously Aussie Albie with the 4 second penalty. Very solid drive from him so far. It's going out of the last corner now. P4 at the moment. He's got 3 seconds back to Antonio Lotza. Looks like Antonio's coming under pressure. Oh, and we see Antonio making a very late move to the inside of Sebastefano is coming by. Sebas just about managed to telegraph it and stayed out of trouble as he's up into P5. 30 seconds off for the race leader. Antonio Lotza was so close there to tears. Smokey Devil still sat P7 at the moment. He's got 2 seconds back to Robbo Wheelie Bin, so I don't know if Robbo's got the pace or the tenacity to give Smokey a bit of a challenge here. But back to Keegs, currently sat in P4 at the moment. So he's got Sebas closing in on him by about 2 seconds a lap at this rate. Sebastefano is surely going to be sizing up that 4th place finish, which would be very impressive when you consider the woes that he's had in this race. It's not been an easy one for Sebastefano, but we're expecting he should most likely take the championship lead if he can carry on in the way that he is. Obviously with the absence of the only G for this round, it will play into his hands very significantly. Sebastefano came into this round with an 18-point lead. It's only going to get bigger due to only G not turning up for this one. Twambury Hill came into this round with 4th in the championship, so he'll definitely make some gains. Currently leading the race. There he is. Still pulling that gap out to Aussie Albie. 4 tenths on the last lap. Let's see what it is this time around. Lapping consistently in the 102s. So it's a 103 dead that last time around for Twambury Hill. Aussie Albie 8 tenths off that last time around. And now we go back to the battle for 4th place. Keegs coming under ever more pressure now from Sebastefano. Sebas is the fastest man out on track at the moment, the only one in the 102s. Can he find a way around Keegs? One thing catching up, but he can't find the gap, he can't go for the move. It's no good as he comes over the line to complete lap 14 of this race up towards turn 1. Is Keegs going to defend the position? It looks like Sebas is going to go for it, makes the lunge up the inside, goes a little bit deep into the corner. Keegs is going to undercut him and hold on to the position just about there, but you can see there Sebas is going to try and go for the exit in the end. Keegs though doing a fantastic job of holding on to that position. Sebastefano looked like he had it done coming into Spoon Corner as he gets onto the grass. Oh, almost well out of shape there from Sebas as he tries to find a way around Keegs, but Keegs is not allowing any cracks to form. Brilliant defensive driving there from Keegs, and he undercut Sebas absolutely to perfection there on the exit of Spoon, and there is no way around him. Still P4 at the moment for Keegs, and it'll be some great points for his championship. So he's got to come into the final chicane now. Can Sebas get a nice run here, coming through 130R and out onto the pit straight for the 16th time here in this race? Surely he's got a chance here in this slipstream, and it looks like the closing speed looks pretty rapid. Is Keegs going to go defensive? He is indeed. Keegs pulls out to the right hand side. Oh no, he's not. He's going to leave it door open here. Sebas once again commits himself down the inside. This is take 2 for Sebas, and it looks like he has done it this time. He's up into 4th place. Last time around it didn't quite work out for him, but he judges it to perfection this time around. Keegs powerless to defend from our charging Argentinian. Flash the lights there from Keegs, appreciating what was a good move there. Antonio Lotz is still sat P6 at the moment, a little way down the road from these guys. 7 seconds from that, down the road from that battle we saw just a moment ago. 3 seconds back to Smoky Devil in 7th. We've got Robbo Wheelie Bin another 3 seconds back, so not sure. Maybe it could be a battle developing between Antonio Lotz and Smoky Devil. Smoky last lap was 2 seconds quicker than Antonio Lotz, so maybe he might be able to give him a fight in the last couple of laps here. Depends if Antonio Lotz picks up the pace or not. Robbo looks like he's closing a little bit on Smoky actually this lap as well. 7th and 8th place. Gap at the front increasing lap after lap, not by too much though. Twambury Hill and Aussie Albie have been pretty close on pace so far in this race, but it has just about been swinging in the favour of Twambury Hill. You never know what might happen in the feature race with the reverse grid. One of these guys might get unlucky, the other might be able to make easier progress through the pack, so anything can happen, and obviously throw a mandatory pit stop into the mix. Should be a good one, as we see we've got a pack marker there, getting well off the racing line there, coming through Spoon. That looks like it's Penguin Dude, so well done to Penguin Dude for getting well out of the way of the leader there. Thank you very much. Sebas still sat P4. Obviously we saw that move on Keegs just a lap ago, that fantastic dive up the inside of Spoon Corner. So it's been a pretty impressive recovery drive here from our Argentinian driver tonight, and as I'm sure he'll be looking to bounce back in the feature race, but he will be starting it from near the back of the field due to the top 5 can't qualify rule. Looks like Smoky Devil is not going to be able to catch up to Antonio Lotzer in time for the checkered flag. These guys separated by 2 seconds. They're just coming out onto their final lap now. Where's the race leader, Twanbury Hill? He's just coming into the final chicane. A great drive from Twanbury Hill in this sprint race. Took pole position by just 0.3 of a second over Sebastefano, but in the end the race was pretty much perfect for this man as he takes the victory at Sakitto International. Ozzy Albi comes over P2. Great drive from him, especially when you consider he was a very late entry to this race. We got Bullen, he's going to complete the podium, and he kept at it tonight. Very solid from him. Wonder if he'll be able to keep it up in the feature race. He won't be able to qualify for it. He'll have to sit out the qualifying session, so it's going to be challenging, but great job from Bullen tonight in this sprint race. We've got Sebas coming over in P4. Gets a little bit wide there coming out of the last turn, had a bit of traffic. Solid drive from Sebas, good recovery when you consider what happened in the early laps. Keegs is going to come around to complete the top 5. So it's going to be Twanbury Hill, Ozzy Albi, Bullen, Sebas and Keegs sitting out the feature race qualifying session. We'll get that underway directly. Smoky Devil coming over in P7. Robert Reading is going to finish 8th, and DJ Phil Penguin do down at Ugbar all a lap down. So that is that for the guys on the lead lap. That is that for the classification. Twanbury Hill, Ozzy Albi and Bullen, your podium finishers. Guys, stay tuned, we'll be back in a couple of minutes time for the feature race qualifying session.
Well done, Fran.
Cheers, bro.
I kept you on the toes for about a lap.
You did. I really messed up. I underfueled.
Did you? Would you really put it down to lean or something?
You put it down to clean and then like had a load of accidents and then you fucking passed me.
I ended up getting a fucking penalty, mate. That's why I slowed down really far.
Yeah.
I had 2 penalties, mate. See how long they're more than harsh, mate. That was
Penalties were in that race. Like, imagine if you didn't get them.
I know. I would have been right on your ass, maybe in front.
Yeah.
Especially with your fuel load fuck up.
Yeah, that was horrible.
And how long's the next race?
Half an hour.
Right. So just trying to think how much fuel we're going to put in for that. I think we'll need about 4 liters, I think.
Yeah, so top 5 can't qualify, guys, and the pit window. Oh, hold on. Oh, how many laps was it?
Top 5 don't do it, so it's all good.
How many laps was it?
I'll watch.
About 30 laps?
Yeah, 30 laps. Mandatory pit stop. Top 5 don't qualify. And pit window doesn't open until lap 10. So you can't pit until lap 10.
Roger that. Can I ask, did a lot of people from the old lot whinge about that?
What was that?
Because I know there's one, right, with your fuel, with your pit stop strategy now, that it being like lap 10, because I know there was a couple of guys that like to do their pit stop straight away and then get out there and blow everyone away, you know what I mean? Did they ever whinge about that by any chance?
Yeah, no, they weren't upset at the fact that, oh, no, sorry, they were upset at the fact that people were coming into the pits on lap 1 and just skipping out all the traffic, yeah, especially the guys who finished at the front, yeah, because there were a couple of people, weren't any names, but pretty much they were just coming in at the end of lap 1 every race.
I know exactly who those people are, mate, because you don't need to say nothing.
Say no more.
Say nothing. Say no more, mate. I know exactly who those people were, and they were winning all the fucking time, mate. Used to piss me off. I have to admit, because I was never one of those fucking go around one lap, come in for a pit stop, then take off and just annihilate the race. You know what I mean?
It's boring. Yeah.
Yeah, turned it into a boring race.
I do what I can to win, I don't give a fuck.
Mate, to be quite honest, the pit in on the 10th lap should have been done ages ago. Yeah. You're right, you go to bed.
Go chuck her in, go on. Love you, Linda.
Telling Twan to fuck off, Twan. No, not telling you to fuck off, Linda. Telling Twan to fuck off. Maybe if you had a nasty accident, you lost a wheel or something, you could make it round back to the pits on the first lap. Yeah, no worries, but just pull in, grab a bit of fuel and then nick off again just so that we can miss the pit stop next time round, knowing that we're going to lose. One small adjustment, now I should be able to keep up with you, which is great.
What was the adjustment?
Lengthening the last year.
I don't know. Keep doing it. I don't know what to do about this.
On
Where's how you get?
Yeah, my last year was a little bit shorter than it should have been.
What's your final drive?
I don't touch my final drive.
What does it say?
I don't know, I'm not there. One sec. My final drive is set to 3889.
Do you want my gears?
Nope. Nope, because these gears actually too nice. It was just the last year that was letting me down on the straight. The final straight, I couldn't keep up with you. Once we got into 6, that was it. It was just losing me. I just didn't have the legs. Like I was topping out on almost just past the start finish line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I should be able to keep with you all the way through there. The only way I'm going to muck up is if I go in there too hot.
Mine is set to higher top speed. But also,
to adjust on this car, and that's the longitude, latitude, fucking like, that would be nice to be able to adjust. The fog is very thick, because they're going to be wet during the race. Gonna be what? I said the fog is fairly thick. Is it going to be wet during the race?
No, it's a dry race.
Right.
It was going to be foggy, but they're so hard to commentate. on foggy races. I put it to hazy instead. Some people were disappointed. No, it's up. No, it's alright. back everybody towards the tail end of this feature race qualifying session where the top 5 on the sprint race are unable to qualify for this one. It looks like Fury currently getting the best of this, and right at the end of the session there doing his fastest time of the session, a 103.2. That is some very handy pace indeed from this young man. It looks like he's got 9/10 of a second back to Smoky Devil, who will line up alongside him on the front row. Antonio Lotso doing a good job in this quali session. Looks like Robbo Wheelie Bin has managed to get it on the second row. Can DJ Phil do anything here on his final run of the session? He's the only man out there at the moment on a lap, I believe, or possibly Fury might be as well. No, it looks like DJ Phil's bailed out of it, so that is going to be that, guys. Fury is going to line up at the front of the field. Fantastic lap time in the qualifying session from there. It now is all down to whether or not Twambury Hill, Ozzy Albi, Sebastefano, those guys who we saw fighting it out in the sprint race, can they fight it back in the feature? Stay tuned and find out.
Good luck, gentlemen. Good luck.
Here we go then, moments away from lights out for the feature race. Motive Racing V6 Megane Trophy here at Sakitto International Circuit. Fury starting this one on pole position, Smoky Devil alongside him. We've got Antonio Lotso, Robbo Wheelie Bin, DJ Phil and Ugpa just behind these guys. And it looks like we're lights out, and it's an incredible start there from Antonio Lotso. I don't know if he jumped the start, but he's already moved across. You can't do that, Antonio Lotso. That's unfortunately all Antonio Lotso's own doing there as he runs into the wall. Manages to take Smoky Devil with him, but Fury up into turn 1 in the lead, and looks like it caused a big knock-on effect there. I don't know what he was thinking. Antonio Lotso, you can't cut across Smoky Devil like that off the line, but Fury's up into the lead. He's got a clear lead as well, 1.6 seconds. Twambury Hill has somehow managed to find his way back up into P3 already. Looks like we're lights out, and it's going out of the way there. DJ Phil, Fulham coming through. It looks like Keegs also is going to pick up that position into 5th place, but what was going on there at the start, I do not know. Regardless though, Fury leading the field by 2.6 seconds. Twambury Hill already into 2nd place.
Antonio Lotso, you can't cut across.
But that was some very, very dodgy driving indeed there off the line.
6 seconds. Twambury Hill.
You can see here we've got DJ Phil still holding off Fulham, battle for 3rd and 4th at this point. I'm sure the stewards will be having a look at that.
DJ Phil,
Start line.
looks like Keegs also is going
What's going on? I don't understand. Fulham here right up the chuck. Oh, DJ Phil as he goes a little bit wide coming out onto the pit straight. Just 6/10 of a second separating these guys as they go with the start finish line. Keegs 2nd place, waiting in the wings. Close to 12 on these guys. You can see a podium spot already within his reach there off the line. Right having start at the back of the field. You've got Sebas holding off Fulham, only up to 6th place. On the Albi following him through. These two guys both embroiled a little bit in the first couple of 100 metres, like we call it, first corner. It was DJ starting starting grid mayhem, let's call it. Straight, just call it starting grid mayhem. These guys up in 6 and 7 respectively. We've got Smoky Devil trying to fend up Antonio Lotzer at the moment, currently battling Brave for the 9 spot already. I think it's really fair off the line. He's quite having a start. What to say about the first starting grid. Moving full on meters. Fury currently sat B1, 2.4 seconds of a lead at the moment over Banbury Hill as these guys come out and call it for the last corner to complete lap 2 of this race. Looks like they're in a battle developing. In fact, it's a big battle developing. 5 finance battle over P3. Keats, Fulham, DJ Phil, Sebastian, Ozzy Albi all fighting over this one position here. You can see they're all queuing up behind Keats at this point, but it looks like DJ Phil has lost. That was coming under pressure here from Sebastopano. It's going to go defensive trying to stall this turn 1. Sebastian's going to go for a late move towards the inside. DJ Phil's moved the door open. Looks like Sebastian commits himself down the inside, and he has the position done. Sebastopano up into 4th, and looks like something's gone out wide. Who's that? That's DJ Phil onto the gravel and down to 7th place. We let them all go past. Ozzy Albi and Fulham picking up the positions there, so it looks like Ozzy Albi's got ahead of Fulham into 6th place. Now next up for him will be Sebastopano. These two guys very evenly matched on pace. Can Ozzy Albi find a way through here ahead of him? These guys got Keeks just up ahead of them in 3rd place as well. Sebastian's going to go for a late move towards the inside. It's going to end up being quite a heavy battle here for 3rd place as we see Ozzy Albi getting very wide. They're almost onto the grass, just about keeping it on the grade stuff. Time margins at this point as we go back to the battle for the lead. Fury and Banbury Hill separated by 8/10 of a second here as we come around the last turn. 6th place. Now next up here will be Sebastopano. Just a quick reminder to all the guys on the grid that the pit lane will not be open until lap 10. Find a way through here ahead of him. These guys got Keeks just up ahead. We see here Keeks coming down the pit straight with Sebastian and Ozzy Albi in hot pursuit. Looks like 3rd place, as we can see outside here. Keeks is going defensive, coming up towards turn 1. Looks like Keeks gets out of it there. Oh no, Keeks is disconnected. Margins at this point. Keeks is disconnected by the looks of it. He's frozen. Separated by pit straight. That is really unfortunate there for him. As we go back to the battle for the lead in the meantime. Fury and Banbury Hill separated by 2/10 of a second. Will not be open at the moment. Lap coming down the hill. Fury doing a fantastic job, very composed so far coming down in this race. No, Keeks didn't disconnect. So that looks like a bit of an error on our stream there. You can see outside here, Keeks appears to be frozen in the middle of the pit straight, but he's managed to somehow teleport himself back up into 4th place. He's got a second to get back towards the Albi in 5th. DJ Phil coming under pressure from Fulham. That's a 4, 6 and 7 at the moment. Campbell makes some quick progress here in this one. He's on the podium in our sprint race earlier on, so we know he's got what it takes in these cars around this track, but has he got the attitude to fight these guys to get up into that position? We'll have to wait and see as we go back to the battle for the lead. Fury and Banbury Hill. Looks like Banbury Hill, the two got back to go through at the moment. Bit of a lump up there as he gets onto the brakes, trying to get us onto the Fury going to make loose into the spoon. Almost loses the back end of the car, just about managed to hold onto it. Banbury Hill will know now that he can pressure Fury into a mistake. That will relax him a little bit. He knows that it's coming now. He knows that he's got what it takes. Probably afford to just sit in behind and wait. So Fury needs to carve that sort of into that position. That sort of propensity to make a mistake out of his driving at this point, whether or not he's going to be able to. We'll have to wait and see. There's a long way to go left in this race. 5 laps into a 13-lap race. Oh, Fury's spinning around. Yellow flag coming through the hairpin. Fury is facing the wrong way. Be careful, guys. Sebastopano comes through. Fury into P2. Fury gets it pointing in the right direction once again, but that is good. Disaster there from Fury. He was battling out for the lead of the race with Banbury Hill, but it's all gone horribly pear-shaped for him. He's now down to 3rd, 4.8 seconds off of the race lead. He's driving at this point as they follow a new race leader here, Banbury Hill. Took the win in the sprint race. To go less than Megane to take to the same position in the feature race, but he's got Sebastopano just 4 seconds behind him on the road. In fact, last time around, I'll give it the fact that Banbury Hill did have to overtake Fury, but Sebas was 2.6 seconds faster than him on the previous lap, so Sebas might be lucky he's on a mission at this point. Already got that gap under 4 seconds. Fury, to his credit, not letting Sebas run away from the side. We've got Ozzy Albi making his way back to the sprint race to go. He's made some changes to the setup, but he seems to be a lot more confident in that car. That car seems a lot more stable, just from my observation there. I don't know whether or not I'm tripping, but it looks like he's a lot quicker at this point. I'll take Fury. Banbury Hill still leading this race at the moment, coming into the chicane, 3.7 seconds at the moment to our Argentinian. Fury still running P3, he's dropping a little bit off of Sebas at this point. He will find himself prey to Ozzy Albi, making his time.
It looks like Sebas has made a mistake. Sebas has lost the car coming out of the chicane. He was chasing down the race leader
towards Banbury Hill, but it looks like something has gone wrong, and he's got well out of shape. He's now dropped down to 4th place, 10 seconds behind the leader. In this race, behind Fury and Ozzy Albi, just ahead of Bullen. Shafter there for Sebastiano as we now go back. It looks like Banbury Hill has made a mistake. Banbury Hill was 10 seconds ahead of Sebas just now. It's now 7 seconds. Only 2.8 back to Fury. Banbury Hill seems to have had a bit of an excursion coming through Spoon. He was chasing down the race. Can't confirm exactly what happened, but one would assume that he probably clipped the curve on the entry or the mid-part corner. Maybe even on the exit there was a curve behind Fury and licked it around Spoon corner ahead of Bullen, which are very, very easy to have a little slip on. As we now go back, it looks like Keeks and Smokey Devil into the wall. Very close quarters racing between those guys. It looks like Smokey Devil still just about ahead of Keeks. Keeks clever on the inside coming down the hill and up into 7th place. Keeks has that P7 done. What car probably clipped the curve to his race. Those two guys seem to be having a bit of a ding-dong, which has allowed Antonio Lotto to pull right up onto the back of them now. Unbelievable scenes here in the opening few laps here at Sakitto. As we now go back, it looks like Banbury Hill. Fury's dropping back to 4th. We didn't see it. Oh no! It looks like that was Fury there spinning out. Coming into Spoon, facing the wrong way. Up into lots and lots of tyre smoke. As he lost the back end of the car, which has allowed Sebas to his race. Those two guys taking out the other position. Sebas up into the podium spots here. Ozzy Albi up onto the back within 4 seconds of the race leader. Scenes here in the opening. So Albi really on a mission at the moment in this one. Second hill, I believe, in the sprint race. Fury's dropping back to 4th. So he'll be looking to go one better in this feature as we see him get a slowdown there. Coming into Spoon, facing the wrong way. Up into lots and lots of still P3 full and up into 4th place. Might be eyeing up another podium finish here. His work can cut out though to the podium final here. Ozzy Albi, a tricky customer indeed. Fury to the race P5 in this race. That is absolutely heartbreaking there for Fury. He was running in a very prominent position just a few moments ago, but unfortunately tipped the curve on the entry to sprint corner. We got DJ Phil trying to fend off Keeks at the moment. He's about a 6 and 7. Smokey Devils just wingmanning these guys at the moment. Antonio Lotto, we got Udbar, 4th place. Robbo Willie Bing in 11th place. Robbo has had the most disastrous of starts to this race. Fury currently 6 seconds off the back of Udbar. It looks like Ozzy Albi has lost the position to Sebastiano. Didn't catch that on the stream, but he's made a mistake somewhere on this 9th lap here, and Sebastiano up into that 2nd position. These guys going to fight it out. The more these two fight it out, the more it is going to allow the race leader Banbury Hill to pull out that gap, which is currently at 5.5 seconds. Sebastiano to clear out Ozzy Albi. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely gunning to get that position back as soon as possible. Ozzy Albi already with a penalty from the race director. Ozzy Albi, I'm not quite sure what the nature of that penalty is. It looks like Keeks trying up DJ Phil here. Can get it around him as they come towards the hairpin. DJ Phil taking an offensive line there under the brakes, and Keeks at the moment not able to find a position. It looks like Keeks goes a little wide off the grass, which will allow Smokey Devil to close up on the back of him as well. So Keeks there getting all over the place on the corner before the hairpin. Sebastiano now clears himself with Smokey Devil right at his jump. Antonio Lotto not too far behind either, so it's going to definitely be a battle on for 6th place. DJ Phil, Keeks, Smokey Devil and Antonio Lotto. That was heating up, 3 seconds separating those 4 boys at the moment. Back to the leader, got Banbury Hill still leading by 5 seconds. It's taken a little bit out of the race leader on the last lap though. He's 9 tenths quicker on the previous lap. It looks like he's taken a chunk out of him so far on this lap as well. On the corner before the hairpin. Banbury Hill, the hunted at the moment. Sebastiano very much the hunter. 5.3 seconds at the moment is the gap as these guys come out of the final chicane. Keeks through the lap 10 of this one. Pit lane is open. So who is going to be the first to blink at the moment? Back to the leader. Pit window officially underway. These guys in the mid pack going to try and get the undercut on their rivals. They're going to bring it in and get the hammer down in the laps that they get into clear air. Will they even emerge in clear air? We've got guys at the back of the field at the moment. Sebastian might run out just ahead of them. We see Ozzy Albi is in fact is the gap as he comes out to the blink. Fury does follow him in as well. We can't actually see the pit lane from our vantage point track side. Let's see if we can get it on the roof cams. here we go. There we go. Got Fury in the box. There's Ozzy Albi just coming on the way out of the pit lane. He's now near enough. Try and get the undercut. See what he's done come out. He's coming in traffic. It looks like Ozzy Albi hammer down. Yeah, he has. He's in the middle of a big traffic jam. Just in front of Antonio Lotto. A couple of seconds up the road from him, just ahead of the Fury comes out. It is him just behind Ugbar as well. A couple of seconds behind Ugbar on the track. Fury does follow him in as well. He tries the race wide open as we see. Keegs and DJ Phil still fighting it out. Phil holding the inside, coming down the hill. Can Keegs get it around him at the moment? It looks like he can't quite do it. DJ Phil forcing Keegs to go around the long way. And Phil traffic. It looks like Ozzy Albi not giving up this fourth place without a fight. Keegs unfortunately just not quite able to get around him at this point. It looks like the front two have come in for their pit stops. Twanbury Hill and Sevastopano both in. Bullen will inherit the race lead by the looks of it until he comes in for his stop. DJ Troll still fighting it out. Phil holding the inside, coming down the hill. He's going to get around him at the moment. It looks like he can't quite do it. Twanbury Hill. DJ Phil maintains the race lead despite having come into the pits. So could he possibly get this fourth place without a fight? I can't know. He wasn't leading at the end of the first lap, was he? I was about to mention the possibility of a Grand Chelem, but I think Fury was leading at the end of the first lap, so Twanbury Hill wouldn't be able to pick that up, unfortunately for him. Took the win in the sprint race, he's got the lead of the feature, looking very good. We're feature feed in this one, but whether or not he's going to be able to, obviously we'll have to wait and see. Maintains the race lead, very, very strong there. Into the pits, so had a slightly negative sound there from somebody, I don't know who it was though. About to mention the possibility of a Grand Chelem, but I think apparently he's just retired from the race. That's a real shame there for the flying Dutchman. Still getting to grips with these V6 Meganes. He's got the lead of the feature, looking very good. Just hearing of course there over the team radio that Ugbar was disqualified for speeding in the pit lane. So that was the reason why he is no longer in the classification that you see in the top left hand corner of your screen. 10 drivers on that list instead of 11 Sunday, I don't know who it was though. So Twanbury Hill currently leading the race by 4.3 seconds at this stage. Two Fuller's retired from the race and he's pulling away from Sevastopano, who's currently in third and second. Once Fulham comes in for his stop. Just hearing from the Audi team radio so much time qualifying the pit lane. So that was the reason why he is no longer in the classification that you see in the top left screen. He's on the back of Antonio Lotto at the moment, trying to pick up that sixth place. He lost around 15 seconds in the pits. Goodness knows what happened. Maybe he's out of the race and he's pulling it away. Bit of a nightmare. Stefano, who's currently in third. Let's go back with DJ Phil, see what he's up to. He's currently running a couple of seconds behind Keegs on the road at this point. The Audi lost so much time. He's currently 4 seconds ahead of Ozzy Albi at the moment. So that was the reason why Antonio Lotto classification to the back of Ozzy Albi quite nicely. So it looks like it's on the back of Antonio Lotto at the moment. Just about putting that gap out now. Oh, as we see a bit of sideways coming out of the last chicane, but keeping that car pointed in the right direction. That is what you want to see. Maybe he's out of the race and he's pulling it away. Bit of a nightmare. Stefano, Twanbury Hill, you're looking like he's threatening to run away with this. Currently running a couple of seconds behind Keegs on the road. 9 seconds he's got on man in the net second place. Fulham currently running a P2 on the track, but he will relinquish that position once he comes in to make his mandatory pit stop. Yeah, it'll be quite nice to do. That's too much time in the pits here at Sakitto. Sakitto International, sideways coming out of the last chicane, but keeping quite a short pit lane in the right direction. That is what you want to see. Maybe he's out of the race and he's pulling it away. Bit of a nightmare. Stefano, Twanbury Hill, you're looking like he's threatening to run away with this. Currently running a couple of seconds behind Keegs, pulled away by 2 seconds now until that previous lap round. Fulham currently running Ozzy Albi's lost the car. He spun it out onto the grass. Yeah, it was Ozzy Albi, so that's released Antonio Lotto into P6. Fury is going to inherit P7. That is a real disaster there for Ozzy Albi. He had a good pace here in this race, but unfortunately a couple of mistakes in the race put paid to his chances of finishing on the podium most likely here in this feature race. Second in the sprint race. This one has not been so kind to him. So Keegs all the way by 2, still riding on the back here. Fury at this point. Is he going to try and make a move coming down towards turn 1? You can see closing speed there coming down the pit straight. Antonio Lotto into P6. He's going to have a little look. He's going into the first corner. We can see Fury going slightly defensive, but in the end leaving the door open. No judge in this race. He's a little bit too far back to go for a lunge. His chance is still trying to make a move though. To the outside, can't quite make it work. At this point, it's as you were between those two. So Keegs all the way by 2. Looks like Sevastopano putting up on the back here. Is he going to battle for second place towards turn 1? You can see losing speed here, coming down the pit straight. These guys just coming through the chicane now, so it's going to be interesting to see now how long Sebastian takes to clear Bullen. Obviously these guys on different strategies. Sebastian's already been in for his mandatory start. Oh, he just had to swerve out of the way there. Bullen came into the pit, caught him out a little bit off guard, but Sebastian didn't lose too much time in the process. He's now releasing some clear air. 8 seconds behind the race leader Banbury Hill with 15 laps to go. We're half distance here in this feature race. 15 laps, a gap of 8 seconds. He's going to have to lap approximately 1.5 seconds. See now you're going how long? That's absolutely 6 or 7 tenths, a lap faster already there for the race leader if he wants to catch up. 6 or 7 tenths a lap on average. It's doable. It's quite a short lap around here. Near Banbury Hill, a couple of mistakes I would imagine. He's now releasing some clear air. 8 seconds. I was thinking the other side of 1 second. That's where I said we're half distance here in this feature. Understand what that means? A gap of 8 seconds. I know what I mean anyway. So Keegan's currently running in P3 at the minute. He's got 2.5 seconds back to DJ Phil at this point. Keegan's obviously had a good battle with DJ Phil a couple of laps ago. Looks like he did pick up a penalty while they were having that exchange, as did Phil as well. We're not quite sure what the nature of that penalty is. We're not going to get it up on the screen because quite frankly it looks ugly as hell on the broadcast. Unless we absolutely have to avoid bringing up the classification on the screen. We're currently seeing the Albi up in his P6. He's managed to pull that gap score. Looks like Keegan's into the pits here. So making his mandatory pit stop, which will release Antonio Lotzer on the Albi Bullen while they were having that exchange. We're not quite sure what they're into some clear air. Get it up on the screen because quite frankly it looks like Banbury Hill's currently down to 7 seconds. Stefano he's really putting in a shift at the moment. We're currently seeing the Albi up in the P6. He's actually pulled host here for this victory. So making his mandatory pit stop, which will release Antonio Lotzer on the Albi Bullen while they were having that exchange. They're up to 4, 7 and 8. Fury is some clear air right up onto the back here. Really been having a little look to the inside. Currently he's going to go for a lunge coming down the hill and into the braking zone. Looks like he's a little bit too high. Oh, well, gets a little bit sideways. And Fury now looks to the outside. These guys are side by side. Philip Bill banging. It looks like Fury drives clean around the outside up into 7th place. Fantastic move. Oh no! He's lost it. I thought Fury had that move done, but he's just binned it on the next corner. And Robbo would have been reassumed that 7th place, but Robbo's waiting for him right up onto the back here. Seemed like there was contact, but possibly there was. Robbo would have been very sportsmanlike there, allowing Fury to retake that position. And Fury now looks to the outside. These guys are side by side. Philip Bill banging. It looks like Fury drives clean around the outside up into 7th place. Fantastic move. Currently one of the fastest guys out on track at the moment, bettered only by race leader and Stefano on that last time around. Ozzy Albi chasing down DJ Phil. He'll fancy his chances of getting back onto that podium spot after a disastrous pit stop followed by a couple of very unfortunate laps after to retake that position. And Fury now looks to the outside. These guys are side by side. Philip Bill banging. It looks like Fury drives clean around the outside. Robbo really got back past Fury on that lap, but Fury still keeping him very much on his sights. And also, if these guys keep on battling like they are, then that's going to allow Smokey Devil to close up on them as well. Smokey's at P8 at the moment. He'll fancy he'll be eyeing up that 6th place for sure. That podium spot after a disastrous pit stop followed by a couple of very unfortunate laps after to retake that position. Gap at the front now down to 5 seconds here. Closing back onto looks like Seba past Fury. He's hunting his man down at quite a rate. Banbury Hill is a number 20 livery from P6 Megane tonight. Had the pace of the sprint race, took quite a comfortable win in that one, but the feature certainly not as one-sided. Stefano is going to give absolutely everything in order to try and take the win. He will be gutted at how the sprint race went. Finished in P4 after a couple of calamities on the opening couple of laps. Dropped him down the order. Looks like Seba past Fury. He got his pace at quite a rate. Last time around Banbury Hill took a 10th back after Stefano. Seba had a bit of a scruffy one, took quite a comfortable win in that one, but the feature Ozzy Albi's pulled up to within 7.5 seconds now. Absolutely in order to try and take the win. He will be gutted at how the time race on the top left-hand corner after a couple of calamities on the opening. They followed with a 105.7 Ozzy Albi. Looks like Seba looking at an absolute mare last time around. Quite a lot of penalties coming into account. Took a 10th back to confirmation. Took quite a comfortable win in that one. So Aussie out there, we found the race director. It looks like we got Robbo still sat to 6.5 seconds down. Back to Fury in 7th. We got Smoky Devil. He will be holding Keeks off a little bit here. Left hand corner. 2.5 separating these guys. They're coming down the pit straight now. The LB is Keeks going to potentially have a cheeky little look up at the inside. Smoky Devil here coming into turn 1. Took a 10th. Looks like he's a little bit too far back. Just at this point. Quite a comfortable win in that. Looks like we got Fury on another Smoky on Fury. Back to Fury in 7th. We got Smoky Devil. He will be holding Keeks off a little bit here. Stefano's got the gap down to now just under 5 seconds to Twanbury Hill. Definitely the momentum is with the Stefano at the moment. He is coming out on a bit of traffic that looks to be Smoky Devil. Took a 10th. And DJ Phillips to the pits as well. Just at this point. Quite a comfortable win in that. Looks like we've got to be too charmed with this. Smoky Devil taking a little while to get away. He does eventually move over. 7th. Thank you, Smoky Devil. Sebas has also got a clear. Keeks by the looks of it as well. Just under 5 seconds to Twanbury Hill's Keeks. Going running P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Took a 10th. And DJ Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of shape there. Coming out of the last corner. So he's going to be too chuffed with this. At that moment that Smoky Devil laps himself. Smoky Devil looks like Sebas making a move back up to the inside to get that position once again. Just under 5 seconds. 8.5 laps left to go. That's P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Took a 10th. And DJ Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of shape there. Coming out of the last corner. So he's going to be too chuffed with this. At that moment that Smoky Devil laps himself. Thank you, Smoky Devil. Sebas making a move back up to the inside to get that position once again. Just under 5 seconds. 8.5 laps left to go. That's P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Took a 10th. Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of shape there. Coming out of the last corner. So he's going to be too chuffed with this. At that moment that Smoky Devil laps himself. Thank you, Smoky Devil. Sebas making a move back up to the inside to get that position once again. Just under 5 seconds. 8.5 laps left to go. That's P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of shape there. Coming out of the last corner. So he's going to be too chuffed with this. At that moment that Smoky Devil laps himself. Thank you, Smoky Devil. Sebas making a move back up to the inside to get that position once again. Just under 5 seconds. 8.5 laps left to go. That's P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of shape there. Coming out of the last corner. So he's going to be too chuffed with this. At that moment that Smoky Devil laps himself. Thank you, Smoky Devil. Sebas making a move back to the inside to get that position once again. Just under 5 seconds. 8.5 laps left to go. That's P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of shape there. Coming out of the last corner. So he's going to get too chuffed with this. At that moment that Smoky Devil laps himself. Thank you, Smoky Devil. Sebas making a move back to the inside to get that position once again. Just under 5 seconds. 8.5 laps left to go. That's P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of shape there. Coming out of the last corner. So he's going to get too chuffed with this. At that moment that Smoky Devil laps himself. Smoky Devil. Sebas making a move back to the inside to get that position once again. Just under 5 seconds. 8.5 laps left to go. That's P8 in possession. 2 seconds. Sebas Stefano up the road to Fury in 7th on a bit of currently 3 seconds ahead of Smoky Devil at this point. Sebas will want to make hay as soon as he can. It looks like Sebas gets out of